You know, Valentine's Day, it's all about flowers, chocolates, romance, right? Well, not always. For some people, the most romantic day of the year turns into an absolute nightmare. And tonight, we're going to dig into why.
I miss you. I miss you. Just hearing that, it sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? It's like the perfect prelude to the dark side of devotion, where affection twists into something truly horrifying.
So we're going to walk through 3 completely true stories, and what's wild is that they all happened on February 14th. Each one is a perfect, terrifying example of how all those intense feelings we associate with the day can get warped into a total nightmare. All right, let's get into our first story. Picture this. A small food store in Connecticut. An employee gives a friendly smile to a customer, something you do 100 times a day, right? Well, this time, that simple smile spirals into a deadly, horrifying fixation.
Yeah, in the beginning, I didn't think much of this guy. Those are the actual words from the employee at the center of all this. A man named Damien just seemed like a regular. Okay, maybe a little too flirty, but you just brush it off. You think he's harmless. Oh man, was she wrong.
And this is how it went from just being annoying to being genuinely terrifying. It was a slow burn. It starts with cheesy pickup lines. Okay, whatever. But then it turns into him showing up every single day. His attempts got, as she put it, dirtier, creepier, and wilder. And then February hits, and he starts this daily countdown to Valentine's Day. And every single time he said it, you could just feel the threat behind it. So then we get to the day itself, February 14th. Damien walks right up to her register, slaps a pack of condoms on the counter, and says, "That." Can you even imagine? That was it. She'd had enough. She screamed at him to get the hell out of the store. And he did leave, but this was nowhere near over. So she gets home, probably feeling this little wave of relief, like the worst is over. She locks her car, walks to her front door, calls out for her roommate, and a voice answers back. But it's not her roommate. It's Damien. He'd broken in. He was already inside the house, waiting for her.
He gets a knife, holds it to her stomach, and says, "Happy Valentine's Day, sweetie." Just horrifying. She starts screaming for help, and he just starts stabbing her over and over. The only reason she's alive today is because her roommate suddenly walked in. That spooked Damien. He took off. Her roommate immediately called 911 and literally held her wounds together until the paramedics got there.
Okay, so let's look at the official record here. The police report lays out the cold, hard facts. They caught the guy, Damien Davis, and they had him dead to rights thanks to surveillance video and audio from a Ring camera. He got hit with a whole list of charges: assault, home invasion, you name it. And get this, he even admitted he'd slashed her tires before. It shows you this wasn't a one-off thing. It was a clear, escalating pattern of obsession that was always going to end in violence. So that first story was all about a sick obsession. This next one, it's completely different. This is about brutal, cold-blooded opportunism. And it all starts with a couple just trying to have a nice, quiet Valentine's night at home. All right, so the setup is this. You've got a guy, his girlfriend, and his brother all living in the same place. The couple's cooking a nice Valentine's dinner. Simple, right? Then, around midnight, the brother decides to run to the liquor store. He opens the front door to leave, and that's when their entire night just explodes into chaos.
Boom. 2 guys with guns force their way inside, holding them up at gunpoint. The residents are, of course, terrified. They're like, "Please just take whatever you want, just don't hurt us." And the response from one of the gunmen is just bone-chilling. He says, "Trust me, we will." What happens next is just an hour of absolute hell. One guy tears the apartment apart looking for stuff to steal, but the other one, his job was pure cruelty. He separates the woman and assaults her. He makes the 2 men strip naked and then whips them with their own belts. See, this wasn't just about taking their stuff. This was about power, pain, and humiliation. So they did catch one of them, a guy named Monty Wilson. He got 20 years in prison. And the motive? Why did they do it? It's so stupid and senseless. Some associate of his just said the people in that apartment were easy licks, basically an easy target. And the scariest part, his partner, the other guy with the gun, was never found. He's still out there somewhere. Okay, our last story tonight. This one might be the most,
I don't know, symbolic of a Valentine's Day gone horribly wrong. It's got everything: a marriage, a devastating betrayal, and an insane act of revenge that was all caught on video. Meet Clara Harris. On the surface, she had the perfect life. Successful orthodontist husband named David, a business, a family, the whole package. But then, David started pulling away. He got distant. Clara got suspicious, so she did what you see in the movies. She hired a private investigator. And right before Valentine's Day, that PI confirmed her absolute worst fears.
So, yeah, David was having an affair with his receptionist. Bad enough, right? But it was one specific detail that just pushed Clara over the edge. The investigator found out that on Valentine's Day, David was taking his mistress to the exact same hotel where he and Clara got married. I mean, can you imagine a bigger slap in the face? For her, that wasn't just betrayal. That was an attack.
So Clara, just filled with this white-hot rage, drives straight to that hotel. She confronts them in the lobby, and it is a massive, chaotic scene. People are screaming. It's a whole thing. Eventually, hotel security has to literally drag her out and put her in her Mercedes. But she doesn't drive away. No, she just sits there in the parking lot, waiting, with the engine on. A little while later, David comes out into the parking lot. And he makes the last mistake he'll ever make. He stands right in front of her car. And in that moment, a moment her own private investigator captured on video, she just floors it. She hits him, then she circles the car around and runs over his body, not once, not twice, but 3 more times. And then she stops the car right on top of him. The consequence for that act? Clara Harris was sentenced to 20 years in prison for murdering her husband. And here's the final, just grimly ironic twist. The day she was actually sentenced, back in February of 2003, that day would have been her 11th wedding anniversary, with the man she just killed. So let's step back for a second. We've got 3 absolutely horrifying stories. What's the thread that connects them all? Well, yeah, they all happened on Valentine's Day, but the reasons they happened, they couldn't be more different.
I mean, think about it. For the stalker, Damien, it was all about obsession. This twisted, delusional feeling that he owned this woman he barely even knew. For the home invader, Maudie Wilson, it was just cold, hard greed with a nasty side of cruelty. And for Clara Harris, the wife, pure revenge. A textbook crime of passion, where all that love she once had just flipped a switch and turned into deadly hate. And all of this really leaves you with one pretty unsettling question, doesn't it? Valentine's Day is supposed to be this day that amplifies all our feelings of love and connection, but what these stories prove is that when you take those powerful emotions and you mix in obsession or greed or betrayal, well, that thin line between devotion and total destruction can just vanish in a heartbeat.